It is an absolute principle that applies even in circumstances where war has been resorted to lawfully, such as in self-defense, which is certainly not the case of Israel. Israel's transgression to international law does not stop there, as it has declared that Jerusalem is the eternal, undivided capital of Israel. Not only are these actions unlawful, they are also highly prejudicial to the prospect of a two-state solution. Third, continued expansion of illegal settlement. The policy of Israel in transferring its own population and forcibly displacing Palestinians from the occupied territory contravenes the fundamental rules of the international humanitarian law. This policy is a clear violation of the Article 49 of the Fourth Geneva Convention, to which Israel is a state party. It is worsened by Israel's pursuit to change the demographic composition of the West Bank. This policy demonstrates Israel's complete disregard of international law and also shows the intention to make the situation irreversible. Fourth, the apartheid policy against the Palestinians. As an occupying power, Israel is legally obliged to act in the best interests of the Palestinians. Instead, Israel has been reinforcing its prolonged occupation by imposing military orders on the Palestinian population which are not applied to Jewish Israeli settlers. The existence of separate legal regimes that are applied exclusively on different groups of people is a textbook apartheid policy that constitutes a grave violation of human rights, particularly crime against humanity. Having said that, it is clear that the continuation of such apartheid regime is paramount to another breach of a peremptory norms of international law. Mr. President, distinguished members of the Court, I wish to elaborate on the legal consequences arising from these policies and practices by Israel. This should begin with respect to fundamental rights of the Palestinian people, particularly the right to self-determination, which has been systematically denied by Israel. The Court must pronounce that Israeli occupation is illegal as a whole. It follows that we must bring this illegal situation to an end. Israel must cease completely, unconditionally, and immediately all of its unlawful action and policies in the occupied Palestinian territory. With the continued presence of Israeli forces in the West Bank and Gaza, it is impossible to see Israeli compliance with its obligation. Thus, it is imperative that Israel must withdraw its forces. Given the illegal nature of the occupation, Israel's withdrawal must neither be done with precondition nor subject to any negotiation. They must withdraw now. I repeat, they must withdraw now. Israel should also be obliged to make reparation both to the state of Palestine as well as to the Palestinian people. Mr. President, please allow me to recall a legal maxim which states that no one may enjoy legal benefits from illegal action. Therefore, Israel attempts to make its occupation permanent shall never be a valid ground to claim a legitimate title over the Palestinian territory. In line with this, all states and the United Nations must not recognize the illegal situation arising from the violation of international law by Israel. All states must not render any assistance to the maintenance of such violation. Moreover, all states and the United Nations should also ensure Israel compliance with its obligation under international law. Mr. President, members of the Court, I would like to conclude by underlining that no country is above the law, that no country is above the law, and the sanctity of this court must be upheld. Indonesia believes that this legal motion is also a motion of global conscience. It should not be another item on the list, another proceeding to dismiss, another call to go unheeded, ignored blatantly by Israel. Never again means never again. We founded our current international system with the conviction that every single human being, I repeat, every single human being, without exception, is protected by law. Every single human being, without exception, is protected by law. Thus, let us all contemplate upon this question. Should the international community continue allowing Israel to manipulate the use of international law to justify its illegal action against the fundamental rights of the Palestine? For Indonesia, we shall not. And once again, the hope is on this court, as the court is the guardian of justice. I thank you very much.
Download Tribun X sekarang, menghadirkan lokal menjadi Indonesia.